Hey, it's Gail from Gail's Garden, and today we are going to do a tomato garden tour. This is June 14th, 2020, and let's take a look at what's growing on. First one you see here is Alice's Dream. The pink poles are 4 feet, and it needs to be staked up higher. Let's take a closer look at the tomatoes on this one. And by the way, everything that I have is grown in containers. I have nothing in the ground. Here are the tomatoes on Alice's Dream. And as you can see that they are striped. This variety should get to be, I don't know, between 10 and 16 ounces, something along those lines. So I've got another one back there as well, and I have more over the stake. So more on the plant as well. This is Alice's Dream. Hey, here's Vorlon. Remember last time he was just about to the top of the poles, or just beyond the top of the poles? Well, look how tall he is now. Even though he's in a container that's about, a foot off the ground. Let's see how high I can reach. Oh yeah, he's good size. I have tomatoes even way up here for this guy. So here's some tomatoes setting here. And we go down, and here is, let's see if I can get you to see. There's a little one in front and a bigger one in back. There's another one over here. And the largest one I have is down here. And Vorlon should get to be, I don't know, 10 to 16 ounces for a tomato. And here we go with Vorlon. We have Girl's Weird Thing. And as you can see, she's topping, and I'm going to have to get more stakes because she's past the top of that 6-foot stake right there. She's got a lot of flowers on her still. Now, she's one of the ones from of course, the problem with the, the hydroponic experiment gone wrong. But she is producing, and these are going to be, or these should be, whoopsie daisy. These should be again about 8 to 12 ounces, and they are going to be, or they're supposed to be, like yellows and stripes and everything. Now this one, despite being in the failed experiment, boy, it's probably the best grower of all the plants that I have. This is Girl's Weird Thing. The next one is Earl's Foe, and I have 3 of these. This is the only one I think that really hasn't set fruit yet. It had been in not as quite a good location, and I moved it here, and it seems to be doing well. Now I do have some blossoms over here, and some more over here, so I am hopeful that I will eventually get something from this Earl's Foe. We have Dwarf Wild Fred, and he is a dwarf, as you might guess from the name. He is indeterminate, and let's see, he's just starting to produce some flowers. So, right here. He should only get to be about 4 feet tall, probably less since he's in a container. But Dwarf Wild Fred. This guy here I need to get into a pot because you can see he's growing in like a half-gallon container. This is a Blue Beauty, which is doing better than the other one I have that you'll see very shortly. But yeah, he needs to be repotted, like soon. Here we go with Storm and Norman, my multiflora. Let's take a look at some of the tomatoes on this plant. Okay, you can see some of the tomatoes on this plant. It is a multiflora, so it's producing a ton of blossoms per bract. And let's see how many bracts we have. Okay, we have another one over here. You can see all the flowers on here. Another one here. More over here. Over here. Let's see if we can see these a little better. Up here, over there, and down here. So we have a lot of tomatoes from this plant. I have 2 of them because I really planted extra because I'm used to losing plants. Tennessee certainly is different. Here we go with Stormin' Norman #1. Here is Joculos. This is a miniature plant. It is producing some flowers, so I am hopeful that I will get some fruit off this. I did grow one hydroponically. This is not it, and I was less than impressed with the fruit, but we'll see what it's like when grown outdoors. Okay, here's my second Earl's Faux that I have, and this one, actually I moved this one too because it wasn't doing all that well, and it's starting to, set flowers. I'm not sure if I have a tomato on this one yet, but we're getting there. You can see it has a ways to go in order to top the 6-foot pole, but I am hopeful. So this is Earl's Faux. Next to Earl's Faux is my very stressed out looking Blue Beauty. Again, this one was the failed hydroponic experiment, and it is not doing well at all. I may top this plant and give it a chance to ripen some of its fruit because I have another one. But let's take a closer look at the fruit. So what it's produced so far has been interesting. We've got a lot of blue on it, purple. So this is the Anthocyanin. Let's see if I can get a better shot of these. So it has a couple on it. Like I said, I may just go ahead and top this. I do have some side shoots coming out, so I may go ahead and let the suckers produce and see what happens. But I'm not real hopeful for this one of the Blue Beauty. Oh well. I almost forgot one. This is Sleeping Lady. It's supposed to have 3 to 6 ounce fruits, as I understand, and they're supposed to be, I want to say, chocolate. So we'll find out eventually, on account of the fact that I do have some flowers on it. But I just transplanted this one yesterday. Yeah, I kind of transplanted late, but there we go. Sleeping Lady. Here's a quick overview of the back garden. So now let's take a look at the tomatoes I have back here. This is my other Alice's Dream tomato, and let's take a closer look at the fruit. So you can see this one looks pretty good size. I like all the purple stripings on it. Have another one over here, and I have a couple more down here. I am looking forward to this. Let's see. As far as height goes, these purple ones are actually about 7 feet tall, because what I did is I went ahead and zip tied 2 of the purple 4-footers. So I have some larger ones because I was running out of the 6-foot poles. So anyway, this one's going to be pretty good size and looks interesting. Alice's Dream. Well, this one is a leaner, and I really need to get more stakes in it or do some more tie-ups. This has the 6-foot stakes, and this is Tennessee Yellow Cherry. Let's take a look at some of the cherry tomatoes on it. You can see we have some cherries here. We have a few more down here. Some more over here and here, and we have a bunch of other flowers on this one, but this one is, I don't know, kind of skimpy looking, but it could just be the way I'm growing it in a container. But this is Tennessee Yellow Cherry. Here's another one of my Stormin' Normans, and you can see how many flower bracts are set. I've got some tomatoes. if I can find them. Tomatoes over here. If I go down, we can see some tomatoes down here. There's another bract with some stuff up here. So yeah, we got tomatoes. I think I'm going to have a lot of Storm and Norman tomatoes. So this is Storm and Norman number 2. And he also needs to be staked up a little bit better as well. Here's one that I just planted yesterday. And this one is Aussie. It's supposed to have some very large tomatoes, and I can't remember if they're supposed to be pink or red. But I'm hopeful. I've got it on a 6-foot stake. And let's see. Now it's got the largest container of everything. It's got a 15-gallon. And I gave it that because I was hoping for like a 3-pound tomato. But we'll see what happens. So this is Aussie. This one is red Brandywine potato leaf. And I planted this one yesterday, and actually it has a 15-gallon container, but I've cut down the sides of it some, so it's effectively like 12 gallons. My husband wanted a Brandywine. I didn't want to do a pink Brandywine, so I decided to do the red potato leaf instead. Here is the third one of my Earl's Faux tomatoes, and this one actually does have some tomato set on it. Now this one is kind of hardish strawberries looking. I'm not sure why, because this is supposed to be like a beefsteak size. And down here we've got ourselves a tomato. So let's see if I can put my hand in there. So here's an Earl's Faux tomato. And I do have some more blossoms and everything. So we'll see how this one does. It's on a 6-foot stake, but it's got a ways to go. Now let's take a look at the final cider tomatoes in my front yard. Oops, I forgot one out here in back. This one is Rosie Falls. Now I'm not sure what's going on with this one, because as I understand it, it was supposed to be like a basket style, which to me a basket style means fairly small, but yeah, this one looks like it's fairly good size, so I wonder if it's Rosie Falls or if it's something else. But this one's in a 10-gallon container, and I also planted this one yesterday. When I say planted, I mean transplanted. Okay, out in the front garden, and sorry for the glare, but it's sunny out here, and we have what I thought was an indeterminate, but it looks like it has a terminal flower spike, so I guess this is a determinate dwarf. And we have a bunch of flowers on it. We also have a bunch of tomatoes. Here's one, whoops, has a bunch of tomatoes. Here's just one at the top. Let's go ahead and find a few more down below. So here are a few more of the tomatoes, and as you can see, there's a bunch. So I suspect that this is probably another dwarf Arctic rose. And let's go see that one, the one that I know is a dwarf Arctic rose. Now this one I know is a dwarf Arctic rose, and you can see that it's producing a lot of tomatoes. These are not the only ones, but these are the ones I can get to at the moment. So dwarf Arctic rose, and looking forward to that. Now this stake is a 3-foot stake, so you can see it's almost to the top of it. Dwarf Arctic rose. Up here in my front patio, or front porch, we have red robin, and I told you the story of this red robin in the last video, and it's still doing well. I'm waiting for its fruit. I can't wait to try them after all it's been through. Little red robin. This is my other Jocolos plant. I'm waiting to be impressed.